Hello, I'm Dr. Vikrant Kishore, the course director for the Bachelor of Film, Television and Animation. And on behalf of the course team, I would like to welcome you to Film, Television and Animation at Deakin. Before we start, we would like to recognize the various traditional lands on which our campuses are located. We acknowledge the land, waterways and airways of the Kulin Nation and the Gunditmara people. We acknowledge the elders past, present and emerging of all the land we work, study and live on, and pay our respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Today, I, along with my colleagues Dr. Rose Woodcock, Dr. Martin Potter, Liz Balch, and current students Ash Beam and Gaydon Susa, will be providing you with information about Bachelor of Film, Television and Animation. This will include course overview and course structure, information about work-integrated learning and facilities, animation aspects, business of filmmaking. Ash and Gaydon will be talking about student experience. I will also briefly discuss a bit about student success. And finally, we will end the session with a Q&A session. We thank you for joining us today. We understand and value the work that you have put in to get to this point, to choose the course that you want to do, and to shape your future. We certainly would like to take your skills and experience and build on them to enable your future success in the field of film, television, and animation. So why should you choose our course? In this course, you will learn about the different ways in which screen productions can tell stories, make us see the world anew, make us feel things, and make us think. This involves exploring the history and theory of film and television production and how these media function in different cultures and intersect with social change. You will make TV and web shows, short narrative, documentary and experimental films, and work with industry professionals through internships. So what are we into? Well, film, TV and animation is a huge field that provides you possibilities to develop multiple skills and enable multitasking. There are immense opportunities post this course, and we certainly work on to provide you with a chance to explore and hone your skills in various areas that include history of film, TV and animation, studying the industry, the careers and organizations in it, short fiction filmmaking and animation filmmaking, making documentaries and experimental films, digital cinematography, effects and editing, sound design, recording and mixing, production design and production management, script writing and directing, high-definition broadcast TV studio production, and of course, our new state-of-the-art outdoor broadcast system, a first in any Australian university. Designing and managing major projects in teams. You will also have exciting internship opportunities. This is a 3-year degree which does not require any prior experience for you to join. The degree focuses mainly on hands-on learning. Right from the start, you are given access to industry standard gears. We methodically provide training and help you develop skills to effectively tell stories, understand and navigate how the film, television and animation industry works, and be industry ready. All our staff members are practitioners and researchers in the field. To give you my own example, I'm a filmmaker, photographer, and a journalist. I'm actively working on documentaries and online web series. My recent web series was for SBS Online. I'm currently working on 2 documentaries, one on intangible cultural heritage and another on caste and race issues. My colleague Martin Potter will be discussing about the business of filmmaking later, which will provide you with further understanding as to how our course connects strongly with the industry. I will quickly give you an overview of the course structure. There are 11 core units, 7 core electives. These are divided in Table A and Table B. Table A offers units from the creative fields such as Writer's Toolkit, Foundations of Acting and Performance, Analog Photography, Designing 3D Motion, Designing 3D Environments, Design Skills. These particular units add value to the film, television and animation graduates. You will need to complete 3 units from this table. While Table B units are film, television and animation focused units such as documentary production, short fiction film, television studio production, animation project, cinematography, experimental screens, post-productions, screen careers, visual effects and motion graphics, production design and management, acting and directing for screen, the art and design of sound. You have to complete 4 units from this table options. Through these options, you can very well build a pathway to specialize in any specific areas of film, television, and animation. We will be more than happy to guide you to map your course. Film and television production requires skills that are highly sought after in many industries: creativity and critical thinking, planning and project management, multi-skilling and teamwork. So through your FTVA units, you will be developing and honing these skills. Now I would like to invite my colleague Liz Balch to give an overview of work-integrated learning, facilities and internship opportunities.
Thanks, Vikrant. Hi, I'm Liz Balch and I'm going to give you an overview of the Deakin film, television and animation production facilities and our internship program. We're very lucky to have some exceptional industry-level production facilities for students to work with during their degree. This includes a multi-camera high-definition television studio that has been used for live-to-air national broadcasts of the Marngrook Footy Show on SBS's NITV channel. There's also a teaching space, film production space, and is used by Deakin TV's Student Club for their productions. Other studio spaces include a green screen studio, sound studio, and the motion capture studio. We have editing labs and suites including animation stop-motion stations, a range of post-production software and an industry-level server used to store and edit student productions. There is a range of production equipment used across the degree, from prosumer video cameras right up to the professional level digital cinema cameras such as Blackmagic Ursas and Red Epic cameras. Production kits also include audio recording devices and microphones, as well as a range of grip and lighting equipment that can be borrowed from our Media Resource Centre. Our industry-level facilities and equipment underscores the importance we place on preparing students for work. This culminates in the core internship unit that prioritises work-integrated learning. Students undertake this unit towards the end of their degree, and it's an opportunity to develop employability skills and gain a valuable insight into the industry. This experience helps students to establish an industry network, and for some students it morphs into their first industry job after graduation. Students are supported to organise their own industry placement in a field of interest, or to take up a place with one of our industry partners. In the past, students have completed internships with WTFN Productions, Fremantle Media, AFL Media, Channel 31 and Melbourne International Animation Film Festival. Another opportunity for students is with the Deakin live stream crew, which works with our industry partners to live stream sporting competitions or cultural events. We have our own outside broadcast van kitted out with a 5-camera live streaming production kit. To give you a taste of the types of experiences students have had in this crew, here's a short video.
Hello and welcome to the State Basketball Centre for this WNBL clash between the Bendigo Spirit and, of course, the Melbourne Deakin Boomers. This is, of course, the Deakin live stream on Fox Sports Live. It's great to have you company wherever you're watching right around the world. 4 opals in the starting lineup for the Melbourne Boomers. So Meg Beggar and Tobin doing the tip-off, and away we go. Speaking of the skipper, Gennaro Hay has the ball, gets inside to Ezzy and pops it through. The Boomers are on the board early. Talbot for three. From Mick Cowlishaw and, of course, Michelle Gubbles, it's goodbye for now.
I learned a lot. I got to see sort of how all the moving parts sort of come together. It was great seeing every department sort of do their small job to make one cohesive live broadcast.
Probably the biggest learning experience I got out of this internship was changing my perspective on how much goes into a AFL broadcast.
And how many people were actually required on a day. You don't really think about that when you're sitting on the couch watching a footy game.
To be behind the camera and see how the whole thing is run and getting to use the cameras is a really good opportunity that we wouldn't normally get anywhere else.
And now to talk about animation in the film, television and animation degree, I'll hand over to Dr. Rose Woodcock.
Thanks, Liz. My name's Rose and I teach animation. Studying animation at Deakin is fun. The human imagination is limitless. We are curious, we love stories, and we're playful. We take a very hands-on approach to teaching animation so that you get to explore lots of different techniques and ideas right from the start. Animation at Deakin gives you the chance to try a range of different approaches to animation in your first year. This means you can explore your ideas in a really open way. We know that hands-on is the best way to learn things, and we all learn better by doing and making. Being open to new concepts and techniques lets you build from a broad range of approaches and ideas about animation. And we really encourage experimentation and new ways of thinking about animation and storytelling. We teach you the practical knowledge and animation principles you need to develop a strong skill set that takes you through your degree. And you can make short films in your first year. You don't always know what to focus on at the start of your course, and so in your first year you get to do a bit of everything. And as you progress through your degree, you can start to specialise in areas that play to your strengths and interests. Along the way, you become part of a team and work with your fellow students on different projects. Some students develop a passion for Foley sound for animation, or become very skilled at special effects and motion graphics, or they excel at character and story. But one of the great things about animation is that you can work individually and develop a comprehensive skill set across all those areas. And this really suits the auteur animator who prefers to work independently on their own short film projects. And of course, you can do this in your major project at third year. The animation teaching spaces and labs at Deakin are equipped with specialist software and hardware that's used in the industry. And because we're very hands-on, we work with cameras and light boxes and physical materials, and all of this is integrated with digital technologies and production workflows. And we have adapted so that we can teach many of our practical units online as well. The Film, Television and Animation course gives students access to units which explore emerging technologies for user experience, for example, for games and in VR and augmented reality design. We also encourage our students to experiment with different workflows so that they develop skills to be adaptable and resourceful in working across different platforms. Things change very quickly in this industry as new technologies emerge and ways of producing change. Our professional networks and industry events make sure we're always up to date with what the creative industries are looking for in graduates and in interns looking for experience in studios and on projects out in the field. Our students complete animation internships in local and interstate studios where they work alongside professionals and they're mentored on real projects. Each year we work closely with the Melbourne International Animation Festival, where a team of animation students curate programs for screening in regional cinemas. Each year, over the past 10 years, we have taken students to Japan on projects working with industry partners in Tokyo to produce work for exhibition there. Over 2 or 3 weeks we visit traditional cultural sites like temples and shrines and Japanese gardens, We inspire ourselves with contemporary events like Team Lab. We exchange creative strategies with students and academic staff at Tama Art University. And we indulge in the bedlam of Akihabara Electric Town. Animation at Deakin develops your skills in 2D and stop-motion animation, visual effects and compositing, and 3D animation and motion capture while you study the fundamentals of filmmaking, editing, scriptwriting, sound design, and managing the whole production workflow. Our students have screened their animations at MIAF, at Sydney Underground Film Festival, and at the Rotterdam Film Festival. Having your animation screened in a festival is always a great outcome, but it's not the only goal for students of animation, and not everyone wants to work in the animation industry. The good news is that animation is everywhere. TV commercials use animation to liven up the visuals. Animation is used to make more engaging content on websites and in public awareness campaigns. And animation is essential for visualizing complex phenomena like black holes or the structure of DNA. There are jobs for animators in medical and scientific imaging. The skill of visual storytelling crosses a range of purposes and diverse audiences for a number of sectors. We think storytelling is an important lifelong skill. Thanks. And now it's over to Dr. Martin Potter, who will talk to you about the current media landscape.
Thank you very much, Rose. My name is Martin Potter. I'm going to be talking a little bit about the business of filmmaking and what skills make a good filmmaker, and a bit about how to work in the current media landscape, especially one that is so divergent and convergent. Like a lot of things are breaking apart. The industry is changing really profoundly in terms of new technologies, new platforms, new possibilities are arising everywhere. And at the same time, it's very, very difficult to navigate that complexity. So as different things pop up, the traditional institutions of media production are collapsing or evolving. I'm going to start with just acknowledging, the strange situation that we find ourselves in, and to think at this time about a business of filmmaking and the value that is underpins it. So filmmaking has been traditionally driven by film watching, obviously, in a cinema. That's the foundations of the business. There's something special about all being in a cinema together, strangers connected by the story that unfolds, where the screen becomes like the hearth, a warm, safe, shared space where people can gather around to share stories, to share experiences, and to imagine new ways of seeing, being, and feeling the world. It used to be around a fire, now it's the flickering screens where we gather together and tell stories about things in the world, especially things that we've got no control of or can't quite understand. We've always used stories as a way to imagine, theorize, name these unknown fears and to try to make sense of them. And it's this primal human storytelling urge that drives the business of filmmaking, which I would say is the most ambitious form of storytelling, at least of the 20th century. And obviously with the explosion of screens and technologies, the cinema experience is no longer the central driver of the business of film itself. But the principles, the values, the ideas that underpinned the emergence of cinema as an art form and a form of entertainment, these principles and values, as I said, they're primal, they're very human. They are ongoing. So regardless of the new technologies, regardless of the new kind of circumstances that we find ourselves in, there's still some essential underpinning ideas that allow us some insight into the way that business can work, or how you can imagine yourself into the business of being a filmmaker, being a creative storyteller. So I think at this time it's really crucial to remind ourselves just how important films are in bringing people together, in sharing stories that unfold on screen and sharing with each other the experience of watching them. We can see that recently in the Homemade series on Netflix, featuring short films made at home by established filmmakers such as Paolo Sorrentino, Anna Lily Amanpour, as well as performers like Maggie Gyllenhaal and Kristen Stewart. A collaborative film series from Canada called Greetings from Isolation that features over 100 Canadian filmmakers creating new original films while living in isolation. Each filmmaker just using their own phone or personal camera to create something with no budget. All of these recent filmmaking innovations speak to the heart of the business of film. Every problem has a creative solution. That's the heart of filmmaking. It's just solving one problem after another. And as part of this course, this is what you are challenged to do and to learn and to explore, how to find creative solutions to problems that emerge, regardless of the technology or the people or the story that you're trying to realise. I think that there's nothing more inspiring than to be able to make from your imagination something real that can then be shared and discussed by other people. That is the joy of filmmaking and of being a creative storyteller. And these core collaborative and creative problem-solving skills that you learn, these are the skills that I think are kind of transferable to almost any industry. And so while the filmmaking course is obviously focused on getting a job in the film industry, I also think that there's a possibility that you're able to apply these creative, collaborative kind of skills that you develop to other areas as well, which is what I think it makes this program so rich and exciting. So that's enough from me. I will hand over now to Dr. Vikrant Kishore to give further information on the course, and hope to see you face to face very soon.
Many thanks, Martin. I would now invite our current students, Ash Beam and Gaiden Susa, to talk about their experience at Deakin.
Hi, my name is Ashley Beams and I am in my third year studying a Bachelor of Film, TV and Animation at Deakin University. Through Deakin, I have learned so much about filmmaking. I have learned the basics of the camera, specialised units like cinematography, editing, sound design, and I've even got to do an internship and make our own short films, short documentaries, or even TV studio productions. If you're like me, I am a really hands-on learner, and so I really love the practical on-campus side of things. And in saying that, the class sizes are a really good size. There's not too many students, and you really get to understand and know your teachers, and it really helps to create such a collaboration and a great engagement in the class. My best opportunity and the most amazing thing that I've done at uni was my internship. I got to intern on Wentworth, the TV show, through Fremantle Media. I went and found that internship myself because I really wanted to learn more about assistant directing, and it has been the most amazing opportunity. I made so many contacts and I learned so much from that experience that I could not have done it if I wasn't at Deakin, and it was the most, and I could not thank the staff and the course enough.
Hi, my name's Gaiden Susa and I'm a current third year film, television and animation student. This is my last year, and what a year it has been. I'm here to talk about the film, television and animation student life experience. It's really been really wonderful. The teachers and unit staff have all been excellent and wonderful across a broad range of units. What I love about being able to go to an institution like Deakin University is that you get a broad range of units. Which means that you get to specialize. The way that the degree is structured means that you get to pick and choose and do the units that you are actually interested in, or do units to find out what you're interested in. Myself, I want to be a writer and director, and that's allowed me to specialize in writing units, in getting a little bit across all of the production, across sound, cinematography, all those kinds of things, so that I can have a broad respect for acting as well, and which channels into my directing and writing talent and career. As well as that, there's also been the chance to do electives, which I love, learning things like philosophy and religion and analog photography and things like that. So you get to learn from a broad range of things. Also, the cohort sizes are really small, which means that you get to work with people who you'll probably work with in the industry. You get to build those relationships so that once uni's done, you can start making things together and make things outside of that. As well as all of the film and television stuff, there's also the wonderful clubs that you can be a part of here at Deakin University. I know that a journalism club just started up, which is a really wonderful way to meet people. The Deakin Writers Club is also an excellent way to meet people. And that's a really special way of meeting other creative people that aren't just related to film. If there's one thing I could leave you with, it's that you should never be afraid to ask any of us third years or your unit chairs any questions, because they're here to help you and help you succeed.
Thanks a lot, Ash and Gaydon. Talking about the graduate employment opportunities, the pathway from a course to a career is no longer linear, and a graduate's first role is not where they will stay for the rest of their career. Thus, graduates need to explore a broad range of employment and career options. The pathway to a perfect job will be through varied roles across different sectors. Many recruiters are more interested in the transferable skills rather than specific discipline skills. Deakin Talent has been voted by the Australian graduate recruitment industry as the best university career service in the country. If you would like more information on the above or examples or profiles of career outcomes for your course, please contact Dinelly Mather, Pro Vice Chancellor, Graduate Employment Division at dinelly.mather@deakin.edu.au. Our students have had their work showcased in many national and international film festivals. Many students are now working full-time in the local and international industry in jobs such as directors, producers, editors, casting, production assistants, colorists, camera crew, and many other roles. Significant awards, nominations, and screenings include the Atom Award, Monster Fest Award, Blackbird Film Festival in New York, Stuff TX in Texas. Official selections in international film festivals have included Screamfest, Aesthetica, Nottingham Blackbird, Vancouver Horror Show, and Glendale International. Local festivals include St. Kilda Film Festival, Cinefest Oz, and Monster Fest. Through their education in film, television, and animation, our students are prepared for entering the thriving local and global creative industries. As stated in the Victorian Government's Creative State Strategy 2016 to 2020, creativity and cultural activity enriches our human condition. It defines who we are. It changes and reshapes our world. It inspires us, helps us build stronger, more cohesive communities. It increasingly drives new jobs and innovation. Deakin's screen programs are training the next generation of creative workers who epitomize the advancement of culture and society by being exposed to and creating screen stories that are both important to them and to Australia's diverse communities. Many thanks for joining us today.